Hi, and welcome back to the show. Today we have Chris Allen. He is a real estate investor and a Toronto area residential and commercial realtor that is the authority keeping your cash flow goals on target. Chris Allen is a sales representative at Slavens and Associates Real Estate, which is one of Toronto's leading boutique brokerages. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So can you give us an update on the current state of the Toronto real estate market?
Well, certainly. Overall, throughout the GTA, the prices have been up for the month of July. Over the month, we've had a bit over 7,500 sales, which does represent a decline of about 1.5% compared to the same time last year when we had about 7,600 or almost 7,700 sales. Now, the decline, it was most pronounced within the condominium segment of the market. But overall, total sales for the GTA are up compared with the same period as last year. One of the reasons that we're attributing the numbers to what they are is that we had very strong annual sales growth for the first half of 2012. And the spring market did peak a little bit early. So this does help to explain why 2011 had a little bit moderately more sales than we have right now at this time in the summer. The average price in Toronto was about a bit, let's say, $477,000 approximately, which is up 4% compared to, of course, July of 2011. Another thing worth noting is that the GTA housing market, it has become better supplied in the most recent months. So a lot of our buyers have benefited from more choices within the marketplace, which does result in a little bit less upward pressure, over the average home price in July.
And Chris, why are condos seeing more of a decline over detached homes?
Well, there's a bit more of a decline with the condo market simply because of supply and demand. There's a large amount of constructions going on for condos at this point in time, but of course you can't build, or add more land. So detached homes, their value is far higher, and the demand is quite high for those, just simply because we cannot add any more. But with the number of condo projects that we have in the city, of course, there's larger supply for the demand that we have. So of course, the price has softened a little bit for the condo market. Though I expect it to remain relatively consistent in the near foreseeable future.
Is Toronto actually in a real estate bubble?
Well, I don't like to use the term bubble. I think, unfortunately, it's too broad and therefore inaccurate. If you're going to be painting with broad strokes, you're going to be painting outside of the lines as well. Now, if you were to be more specific and say, are there certain segments of the market that are perhaps have a little bit softer sales, then that would be correct. So, for example, if I were to say that the luxury condo market in the downtown core is that in a little bit of a bubble. Now, with that having softer sales in the high-end condo market, yes, you could say that is true. To contrast that, if you were to say, is there a bubble for, let's say, small, affordable condos in the city, or small detached homes in the city at a reasonable price, then there certainly is not. The demand is there.
So how is it that you've been able to forge such powerful connections and build relationships with the whole, the who's who in real estate, with names such as Eric Trump, George Ross, and the Ted Menzies of the Minister of the State of Finance?
That's actually a good question. And, simply because as a successful realtor myself, in order for me to take it to the next level and accelerate myself and continue growing in my business, I need to connect and build the relationships with people far more successful than myself. So that's why I always try and plug in with persons like Mr. George Ross. And I need to grow. It's a great analogy actually that someone had told me, is that a koi fish. If you have a koi fish in a small bowl, it may only grow to be about an inch or so. But if you put that same koi fish into a pond, it'll grow to over a foot. So simply, for me to become more successful than I am right now, I need to be around and network and connect and learn from other persons in the real estate, business and just business world overall that are more successful than I am.
Well, Chris, what is your relationship with George Ross?
George Ross is a fantastically sharp guy, and he definitely is a wealth of knowledge, as you can imagine. But fortunately, I actually was able to come to an agreement with George Ross, and he's actually my strategic advisor for me and my business, which is a phenomenal opportunity for myself and, of course, my clients. When you're working with someone, like George Ross and the Trump brand so closely, and obviously everyone knows Trump when it comes to real estate, it allows me to kind of position myself to offer a unique perspective to my clients, as well as a unique view and unique opportunities that they wouldn't be able to find anywhere else.
And I hear that you're currently writing your first book. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's your sources are very good. Actually, I am. It's a project that was relatively under wraps. I am writing. Actually, I'm in the process of writing the book on Toronto real estate. It's going to be, of course, go into the history of the market as well as where things, may end up in the future. But I don't want to let the whole cat out of the bag just yet. But needless to say, I expect to have my book published in the last quarter of this year, November, December-ish.
And what are your clients investing in now? What's their focus in?
Well, a lot of my clients right now, they're looking at commercial condos, whether it is a commercial retail condo, such as like your 7-Eleven perhaps, or a Money Mart type of building, or industrial condos where it's maybe a small warehouse or even small light industrial. We do have a fair bit of investment going on in that sense. Another group actually of my clients are taking a look at relatively small residential projects such as duplexes and triplexes. So things of that nature are quite popular with my investing clients right now.
And okay, so give me the skinny. So do you personally invest in real estate yourself?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. Myself and my business partners, of course, that I'm working with, we do a lot of investing specifically for single-family homes and small multifamily dwellings. So the answer to your question is yes. I think if you're going to be getting into that business for yourself, and of course, you want to make a profit and want to be on the good side of an investment, you want to make sure that you can plug into someone who's doing the exact same thing. It would be hard to get a relative perspective from maybe someone who just read it in a textbook, as opposed to someone that actually has boots on the ground and they're actually doing the work themselves as well.
Well, Chris, it's been great having you on. We appreciate your insight and your connectivity, obviously, in the world of real estate. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
We've been speaking with Chris Allen. He's a realtor with Slavens & Associates Real Estate, Inc., and you can check out their website at allenestates.ca. And look at the credits, and you can connect as well by telephone. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and stay tuned. We'll see you again real soon.